Well, hey, rail fans, welcome back to the hobby room, to the Brown Smith Railroad, and to the beginning of our 5th year, that's 10, how about this, 5th year of making model railroad videos right here in the hobby room. Hey, a lot's happened over the last 6 months. First of all, I lost a tooth to old age. Get her done. Second of all, I had 2 job changes within 6 months. Sadly, we lost a significant member of our family. And then finally, I started writing and recording music, singing it my own self, and I put it up online. It's got a hard edge and I'm singing, so it's not for everybody, baby. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. A couple of things. In my absence, I've been running my trains and working on some other stuff, and I'd like to show that to you in this video. Plus, we're gonna get a little deeper into my new project, which is to put in a sort of ad hoc subway right here under the layout. So let's get started by let me show you a train that I kit bashed, I built from whatever I had lying around that is a B-movie, sci-fi, Mad Max, post-apocalyptic, no way to justify it in the real world train that I dig and I love running. It's right over here. Let's take a look. So let's start off here with the locomotive. This is a Cato AC something shell that I got off a locomotive that didn't run anymore. And I put it on top of a chassis that runs really well. Now I saved the chassis from the one that runs really well, so someday I can make it, boom, back to a normal locomotive. But I had to modify the shell a little bit to get it to fit. And then I did something cool right here. When I pull this off, you can see I've got another decoder in there. What I did is I hooked that decoder to a couple of very bright LEDs and put that decoder in consist with the decoder in the locomotive. You're gonna see a little bit later that when I start the train moving, I've got it set up with these bright LEDs come on, and it just looks ridiculous. But it's totally cool and I love it. So you can see I weathered it and some stuff here, and you can see there's other different kinds of locomotives connected to that. I'm not gonna go into great detail, but it was fun to build off of what I had lying around. Behind that, I've got these 2 tanks that I salvaged from the barges I had on the old port down in Port Smith. I took them off and I put them in these gondolas. You know why? Because the guys that built this train, they just take whatever crap they find laying around and they make something out of it. So I put them in there, weathered them, and they hold some chemicals, extra diesel fuel. I don't really know. I just like the way it looks. Behind that, I got another car that I'm not really certain what its function is. I took 2 containers, stacked them on top of each other, put them on a flat car, built me a little crane, if you will, put a bunch of goods up there, and again, not certain what that does. It loads and stores stuff, but it's kind of fun. Behind that is the most challenging car that I have, and I can't remember the name of it. It's an articulated rail car. This was the whole purpose for building this train. I wanted to build a big articulated rail car. And so I just completely scratch built this from styrene and parts I had lying around. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks on it. And the thing about it is the pieces the trucks are held to, and the bogies and all the junk, I don't know, whatever the model railroad term is, I don't have any of that fixed. So I can take it off and take the little pieces apart, because trying to re-rail this after a derailment, not an easy task, people. But they make some kind of product here that they trade off in the apocalyptic world. It's a lot of fun. Behind it, I've got an old molasses car that they've now repurposed to hold some kind of chemicals. I don't know, maybe it's molasses. Maybe that's what they use. I don't know, but it's kind of fun. Behind that, I have a car that used to be one of those pulpwood cars. And what I did is I glued some styrene on the inside of it and put a deck on it, and then put an old caboose on top of that. And then I don't know what these guys are doing. I can't decide if this is a prison car or a recreation car. But either way, they're shooting hoops, and a little dog up there. Is that a cat? Some animal watching them shoot hoops. It's a lot of fun. Behind it, I got 2 passenger cars. The first one, I actually took 2 passenger cars, cut them down and glued them together to make a double stack passenger car. Put a bunch of junk on top. The reality is this train will not go through any standard model railroad tunnel. So that's why I'm saying it's completely unjustifiable in the real world. But All in all, I just took every little bit of details that I could find and just started gluing and weathering and just having fun with it, because that's what it's down to. If it's not fun, then why do it, right?
I think that was stupid. I think you all already know that.
But anyway, let me show you what happens with these bright LEDs when I start this train running. There you go, look at that. See how they sort of start getting brighter and brighter as it gets going? Now, the funny thing is, on the video, it looks like they're blinking, but they're not. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I just love it. And then when I slow the train down, they go back down. Now, I had every intention of running that train around the railroad for you guys today, so you can see what it looks like. Problem is, of all days, it just won't stay on the track. I don't know. I decided not to spend any more time figuring it out on your time. I'll figure it out on my time. At some point, you'll see the train running on the railroad, but not today, baby. Here's the thing. I did shoot some video of how I built some of that. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, let me know in the comments. And what I may be able to do is include little excerpts as we move into my new main project, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. And you can kind of see how I built some of that stuff. But for right now, I want to tell you this. In the time I've been gone, I have been running my trains. I love running long trains. I put out a video a couple of weeks ago or so, running a long beep train because I could. I just come out here and watch my trains run. By the way, let's go back to something real quick. We talk about track cleaning, right? And we do that NOx ID thing. Remember the last video, second to last video I made where I'm like, whatever with that stuff. You know what I did? I cleaned all that off the track and I took a nickel, a regular nickel, and scraped it along my rails all the way around, and that was 7 months ago, 6, 7 months ago. Haven't cleaned the track since. I just run my trains, and it works beautifully. Little tip for you from your buddy Steve, the regular guy. One more thing I'll show you before I get to the new project is something I did over here at Caliente Flats. Now I told you, I love running my trains. I got some long trains. I can't run them all at one time, so I need a place to store them. So I just bit the bullet. I cut me in a siding. Let's take a look. So like I said, I like to run my long trains around. That's kind of what I do. I don't even do switching ops anymore. I just watch my trains run. But I like to switch them out every now and then to a different long train, but I need a place to park the other long train. So I looked around the layout, and the only place that really was suitable was up here at Caliente Flats. If you'll recall back when I built Caliente Flats, this is supposed to be an area for future development. Right now it's a campground that does rail fan land, is what I call it. It's where people come to camp out, watch the trains go by, and then they drop down into Switch Junction and do some historical kind of hanging out, looking at trains and junk. But I digress. When I got to this though, I had two choices. I could put the track on the inside or the outside. Now putting on the inside meant when I get to the end down there, I got a much tighter radius than I have now. It's already pretty tight. And I got that long articulated car. I got my stack train that runs through there. I thought a tighter turn was not a great idea. Actually, it was three choices. Second choice is I could have tore out all that mainline track and realigned everything. I wasn't gonna do that. I put too much time into it. So what I decided to do was put the siding on the outside. Good news, bad news. Good news, I got a much longer radius down there. Bad news is it's really close to the edge in some places, and the ballast is kind of raining off to what's below it. For those of you who are really into prototypes, it's not. I can't justify it in any way other than it works and my grandson doesn't seem to give a crap. So I put this in. The way I did that is I went back here and I put in a curved turnout where I thought it aligned best. Then I went way down to the other end after I measured out the length of the train. I put another curved turnout in, and then I didn't shoot video for it, but I just laid the track right on top of the landscaping and glued it down best I could, and then filled in all the nooks and crannies with ballast. But I gotta tell you something, that's what this is for. It works great. It wasn't the right way to do it, but it was my way to do it, the regular guy way of doing it. It looked just fine. So anyway, with that in mind, let's get back over here. Let me tell you what's coming up next. Okay, so anyway, on to the new project. If you saw my last community post, you know that I've been looking at these Kato Portram models for rapid transit, and I have this thing about I want to build a little subway right here under the layout. So I went and did it. Yep, I did. I bought 2 of them from Japan. Now here's the problem. I bought them from Japan. Oh, konnichiwa. So I don't know when I'll see them. All right, but the next video you see from me will be contingent on the arrival of those models. But here's what I want to do. Over here above my beer fridge, I want to put a station in that's lit up with LEDs. There's people in it. It's very detailed. It's very exciting stuff. I'll put it in there, and then I'll have some kind of a way to get people from the station to the top of the layout, and then the parking lot and all that other kind of stuff is off layout, okay? Now, I'm not actually gonna have like an elevator moving up and down or something like that, but it's a station, and that's how people get down there. Then I'm gonna go from there and have a line that goes all the way around and over here, way back here. Can you see me? I'm over here to the town of Brownsville, and I got this little model I built right here. I think I'll end the station right there, replace that model with the top of another station right there, and then have the trams run back and forth, and I can just watch them and just enjoy it. Now, here's the thing. These are DC models, not DCC.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, DCC is like the computer ones that you program your decoders, and it does all kinds of great stuff. DC is pretty much you apply voltage, it goes one way, you apply voltage, it goes another way. Right? DCC is the future, DC is the past, but these are DC.
But I figured out a way to make the DC version work using 2 switch motors and some block detectors. So we're gonna see how that develops moving forward. But ultimately, this is a precursor to what I built this layout for to begin with. You know, I've got a lot of places to do a lot of switching ops, and that's what you're supposed to do if you're a real model railroader. But I just like watching the trains run, frankly, running through my models. I come out here and I don't know, I spend an hour hanging out with the wife, listening to music, drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, and just watch my trains run. Every now and then I switch to a different train to watch it run. So I think long-term plan is to take this and slowly convert it to more of a mass transit light rail setup, less of a freight-oriented setup. But we're gonna see how that develops in the future. Hey, you know what? Thanks for coming back and seeing me after a few months off. Like I said, I've been working on some other things.
I wasn't dead, for crying out loud.
And I'm still running trains. And hopefully I will see you when I start my new subway. And until then, my name is Steve Brown, and rail on, my friends.